All right, we're back. Hello, hello. Oh, we're always here. All right, so we'll continue looking at the hair. Um, and then we're going to make a video for Alma plan, at least. That is plan. Also, Coin Monger, if you're out there, thank you for the bits. I don't think I mentioned that a little earlier today, but very appreciated. Hmm. All right, sorry, getting distracted. So we started this little hairdo on this guy. Now, what I'm thinking is that for pretty much all of stylized haircuts, anime haircuts, we're going to want to make this through shells or through strips and then adjust them afterwards. So let's go ahead and um, this just says curve guide. Do I require a strand based curve or can I use any curve? Um, say, for example, I just make a curve. The fuck just happened there? Huh. Now, oh, okay. Duh. Of course, it's because I'm making it in this collection. I need to make it in just the normal collection. Curve. Too many types of curves. Bezier. So I have this curve. Can I turn this into a hair system? Does want a surface object. Does it matter which one? Let's again, I'm just gonna make a cube. Mesh cube. Boom, boom, boom. Cube. Okay. So it does make a bunch because it has density. So we can turn the density completely off. And then I can go to Profiles. Hello, Snardom. Hello, hello. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Mesh profile. Sample. Cube. All right, so that means I can use custom curves with this system. 90% sure. It'd be nice to just have a different geo node for it. Is there another way to run a... Let's make a new file here. And we're just going to make a plane. And on this plane, we're going to make one of the edges mark sharp. So we can use our hair tool system to curves from surface. So now we have a few curves. We can edit these curves. But I want to know if we can do a mesh profile on them. Singular mesh profile. New hair tool add-on in your arsenal. Correct, correct. We're doing yeah, we're trying to just mess around with it. Let's go ahead and make a new file here. Bases hair, arrow 1, save. In fact, we're gonna find a good hairstyle to try to recreate. Just something simple. This might be a good one. Because, yeah, I've just been kind of struggling to find the right way to make hair for Unity. For Blender, it's actually super easy. For Unity, it gets a little trickier because you have to make things in certain ways and yada yada. Really have to think about this. Because, like, okay, you basically have your skull cap, your base layer, and you can portion off sections of it to do different things with. So you take your base and you go, okay, I know that this section will be pigtails or a divide down the middle or a mohawk or whatever. But that's so. I saw a Saitama engine there. I say go for his hairstyle. Done. And also done. So I just kind of want to think through this process because it's a little vague in my head still. And so we'll hop into my checklist document. And make a little step by step. So first is create a skull cap. This is a base mesh that will be the roots of your hair. This isn't true, actually. So So it's not quite, because different hairstyles require different things. So first is identify the type of base required. And we have a skull cap version, and then we have sheets. Or so this is a strand based solution for Unity then, or it'll be like meshed like normal hair. It does all of them. So you can do strands, you can do hair cards, um, you can do geometry. So it's pretty functional, which I'm excited about. Definitely takes some thinking through of exactly what is needed, but I do like it quite a bit. And then what say? So yeah, we have this like sheet system for like long hair especially. Um, better for hair you will see the base of. And then sheets for longer hair. Usually woman's hairstyle. Okay, so that's kind of the way to think of it. Longer hair, portions of longer hair, and skull cap. Um, it's still difficult. Well, right now I don't have a good like example hair to do. Do I need it? I've already made a few. Here's some of the ones I've made. I made a mohawk one, which I like. Very Dragon Ball Z. Got this long hair version. But my main concerns are how to polish the hair. The longer hair is very easy. Kind of, it's really the tips of the hair where it comes down, how to clump properly. Um, avoid kind of the tubular look. Let's look up some tutorials. So go to YouTube and we do hair tool 2. to Unity. Oh, interested to see that workflow specifically. Okay. Those are not the ads we're looking for.
Using this to center your hair, basically. Sure, and drag this hair on top of your head. Now extend the hair, and you're going
Let's
to
share
click on
this
the
with
phone.
Pixie.
You're going to apply your balance.
Follow up with him later. All right. If I just had a good way of taking a curve and then running custom geometry down that curve, then I really feel like I'd have everything I need to edit properly or to finalize everything. Because I still want to rely on Unity's hair systems for tweaking things, moving things around. So it's just super useful to have things stay as a curve. Okay. This one even goes over Unreal shell texture. Do you want to go Unity too? Let's see. Search Unity here. It's only mention of it. How about Game Engine? Ugh. When drawing, if you have a curve, don't do draw. I want to see how to move. Drawing it, but I move curve.
For this kind of thing, you get to do deep face, deep muscle, like by deep next, then go take that to those situations, but just in model then it is basically half of that here. This tonight might want the sympathetic submeasure and the ground maybe from the car material to the line with you stone paper and more time for UV or the UV leader and to offset texture I can put and scroll on the bottom of the UV box. Now when I am scrolling, the texture is moving more to the bottom. And when I am ready, I can press enter to accept. And this will quite good. Maybe I can use the specular, so the material editor, highlight, and to maybe tweak the UV, increase the more noise. Hello, this is the lamps.
He has tools up there. So when we make a plane, no edges, just sharp. Okay. Because he has, I'm just going to close this for now. He has options here that I do not, but he has this selected hair modeling. Hair modeling. Ah. So how,
Change the color.
because he's still in object mode while he's making these edits.
Okay. So now move into the fit modeling. Then I have only two endings and use add to take it. Go to change the size like so. And basically what I am doing now, I'm manually creating some tabs. So we can movement to frame mode. Maybe the scripts in the format. So and then I have some more natural looking lamps. We now go to center part. So let's create that text again with add on profile. if the width of grid one. So we reduce this.
Okay. So that's all well and good. Interesting. Interesting. And then we have this chain or normal node. So if I right click there and move it, now these are the kind of shapes I hope to be able to create with our other tool, but they will be harder to make. Ooh, headache. Invert selection, transform spline, circle deselect, linear deformer, cut tools, duplicate strand, adjust radius, reset radius, adjust tilt, reset tilt, extend curve. All right. And then we have draw settings too. How do I draw? Draw here, draw here. Okay, so we can draw it manually. If I try that. It's not in here that I do the drawing. It's not in here either. Interesting. Ah. Don't know why it's so off, but all right, so I think this will work just fine. Now if I select this, and I just scale them, we can scale all of them. Oh, that doesn't undo it? Oh wait, no, it did. I'm confused. That did undo them before. That just kind of ended up in similar spots. Okay, good. So I just want to work through the right way to work with the strands, tubular strands. So I think a key part of it will be to know how many we're trying to make. 1, 2, 3, 4. So however many we think there are is how many times I should subdivide it. And then when we go here and curve, and I say strand count 4, without randomized spacing, then I know exactly where they're going to be, which makes it very easy for me to set up my base intentionally. And then we do want to use round. And we can begin to kind of tweak these. And this is where we want to be viewing them at. About there, let's switch the hotkey to sharp. All right. This is kind of what we'd expect. But again, the shape of these is not very desirable. I assume this is the hair tool for Blender paid add-on, correct? Just saw the Gumroad page for it. Correct. It's very cool. It's going to take a little bit to learn, but certainly everything invested in learning it will give me huge speed ups moving forward. That's the plan. It is nice. I think already I feel a lot more confident in kind of how I would approach certain things. Supports the sketch hair stuff as well, right? You can draw strands, and then you can also use the hair grooming system that Blender came out with recently. So you can use annotate or something to create flow lines. You use mesh to create flow lines. So like you can see this one here. So you make a mesh and then it follows the shape of your mesh as long as you've made a purely quad mesh. But then you can also draw on it, on that grid that you make. So for example, if I hold D right, or if I do D like that, I can make a curve, which is pretty cool. I think it's probably grease pencil under the hood, but not 100% sure there. But the mesh itself is your flow line. You just mark one side or one section of it what you want. These are not lattice deforms. They're just they're just mesh. And I don't think moving it changes it. It's just kind of a starting point for making your curves. Yeah, and it seems to me, just like reading a lot about this and kind of playing around with it a little bit, it's like every hairstyle is usually like an amalgamation of a few different types of ways to approach hair. whether it's a groom, if you got short hair with a bunch of little tufts, or like if you got long hair, you'll want to use like a mesh starting point where you can just define the overall shape and then have hair flow down it. But the problem for me is the difficulty that I'm having right now is that the the oh goodness, what am I trying to say? Making it stylized with these, like, rather than doing hair cards, because hair cards do not look great in VR chat. Hair cards, like something that looks totally fine in Blender, does not look good in Unity. So I either have to use stylized stuff, or I need to find or pay someone to make a hair shader for Unity that actually looks good. Because right now, I think you have to use just pure mesh. It just does not look good otherwise, in my opinion. But what I'm thinking is that I need to create a geometry nodes that will run a custom mesh along a length. So it'd be good to have these pieces of hair, get a good starting point, and then replace it with something you can customize and tweak a little bit better. Excuse me. This kind of curve at the top is important. Very important to get the roots to go into the mesh. So I have to be doing stuff like that. All right. I do one other aspect I wish it would do is retain its settings so that I could just immediately set this up and copy paste this exact setup. That would be cool, but so far it seems to be a decently manual process, which is what it is. Now what I want to do is geometry nodes. Move or move object along curve.
What's up, guys? Don't do any cross. And let's see.
Stretch object along curve.
Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Nothing happens. Why nothing happens? Because we don't this, right? Okay. Fine. Alright. Last transform sheet.
Close. Can't save that for some reason. I've definitely done this before. Do I want to do it right now? I think I need to. Otherwise, I'm just kind of missing a good workflow. I like looking at what we see here on this character. I'm having a really tough time deciding if these are multiple strands of geometry or one modeled chunk. Gotcha. A lot of it's just texture. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could see the top of her head. Oh. This section's definitely a combined mesh. It just looks like individual strands to me. It's gotta be. With the way the normal is appearing here, that line. Okay. So that tells me a lot. Tells me a lot that I need to know about how to do this. Wow. My hotkeys. I want to. Oh. Fascinating. It's pretty handy, actually. All right. So that means we can make a mesh like this. UV sphere. Punch out the middle. And let's say this. And then we can, let's see, how many edges is this? Stats. It's 18 edges. So we'll do a curve to grid. I'm marking this sharp. Boom. 18. All right. Then pretty easily, we can just kind of shrink these down. We start getting these nice little clumps. I mean, starting from a flat view actually makes a lot of sense. This feels like how I use lattice deform modifiers, but 10 times faster in setup. I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's tough just always getting into something and going, oh, now I have to learn all these new hotkeys. But I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it. I do feel like it inverted my scroll wheels. No, what's up with that? For hair, it's always worth it. I think so. I think just being able to get the exact look you want right away. Yeah. Oh, feels good. guess I could always merge them afterwards. Get what I want, and then if I really want to, I can combine them. These ones are right on top of each other. Same with these ones. Interesting. Ah. And then I'm just going to duplicate this, or delete it. Let's make a new sphere. Yeah. And then if we just delete this half, the tip, and then all I want to do is delete that, flatten this, I guess. Then, bam. It's a little rough, but right off the bat, works pretty darn well. I think I'd want to do it. And then something like that. Make sure it's nice and round up top. And then randomize the length a little bit. And we can also do stuff where we add some noise on the bottom. All right. And then oh, that's nice, actually, a little chain movement. Huh. Huh. That was easy. All right. That was definitely worth it right there. I don't like that it always defaults to these materials, but dang, that really sped it up. All right, so in the future, I just want to make sure we have a more complete connection of the underlying mesh. Do the full underlying mesh, do some test runs on generating, and then do the full thing. But being able to make these soft curves really easily, that was genuinely very straightforward to do. And then I can always make like extra strands. Enjoy playing with the new toys. It looks really nice and fast, but I'm gonna head off and celebrate another migraine. Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you get lots of water, some quick recovery. Electrolyte really helped me with my headaches and migraines. But you probably know how to take care of yourself. I just hope you feel better soon. Wishing you well with that migraine, Snardum. I'll have more to show you when you're back. Coin, welcome back. Just a tip, but I found having a double card overlap with an X pattern can help cards better from almost any angle. Yeah, like the X like that. Oh. Bam. I think that is a very good setup. What I found with Unity though is it just does not do hair cards well, or at least this version of Unity that VR Chat kind of forces you to work with. So unfortunately, I'm just relying on the what am I trying to say? On solid setups, which is why I think anime characters are so popular in VR Chat because they end up looking quite a bit better. Oops, darn it. Hello, Draw. Welcome. We got a new tool that we're farting around with. My weapon of choice usually curves too, though you seem to have something fancy going on. Yes, we're working with a hair tool, which is kind of a speed up. It's a bunch of tools for generating curves and hair grooms really quickly, but also getting them game ready. So just getting them set up for either hair cards or solid hair or strand based rooms. It's a little pricey, but I think it's going to be worth it for me. It's already kind of paying off quite well, but we're mostly just testing it. I got it last Friday, but we're really putting it through its paces today. Kind of interested to see how this hair would hold up in Unity. So I'm going to export this really quick. Anything is probably faster than what I do, but I can't lie. I kind of love merge and clean topology from curves. I think I'm crazy. If you can fall in love with rigging like I have, you can fall in love with any process. And that's part of art. That's when you go insane. The closest people I ever met are science teachers and artists. Scientists just really, really love chemicals. Here's some of the hair strands, hair grooms that I have made today. It's kind of zoomed in oddly, but we did a mohawk. We did this kind of more traditional hair, and I'm trying to get it more and more anime or stylized esque. So we're getting there. Oh, I don't think I finalized this. It's not going to look right. Darn. All right, let's run back into Blender really quick. Take the hair, finalize, take the hair, finalize, finalize. Boom, boom. There we go. But I hope you're having a good Monday, Draw. Also, Coin, thank you for the bits from earlier. I don't know if I thanked you properly, but I was looking through my activity and I saw that. Again, thank you. Haven't been too productive, so I hopped in. Relatable. Well, we can suffer through being productive together. I'm just going to delete all of those, go here. Why didn't it? Is it missing the material? duplicate these, move them up, mesh them, combine them, look at them. Should their UVs be like this? That's better. It's still very, very tiny. A little hard to test right now just with how that is. Let me duplicate it, put it there, go to the normals and set them to that. All right, I'd say that looks pretty good. Let's also set it to off so we can see both sides. Not bad. Not bad. Now, should I have done it like this one, where it's got the full strand? I don't know. I like this look. What if we just hit it with a slit? It does look better. There's a thickness to the strands that comes through, I think. All right. I think with some better lining up, like thinning out these sections properly so there's not this overlap, we would be doing quite well. Also, the UVs are still kind of fucked in these ones. They just don't match the amount. And yeah, a lot of intersection here. Certain sections. And even here, it looks like there's just a double hidden in there. A double. All right. Let's do another hairstyle as a test, and we'll just keep going. We're just going to test them all. So we get good at this, good and efficient at this process. Let's take these, move them over. And this time we're going to pick an anime hairstyle. Try to recreate something. I'm afraid to put this search onto the main screen, just in case. Searching anime can be risky. All right, how about something like this one right here? It'll have this main bangs section, these side bangs, and then the back is pulled into these pigtails, and then there's a little pigtail. I think that'd be a good practice. Just a few different chunks. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Excuse me. This time as well, I'm also just going to add or something like a head. A fake anime head. Tempted to futz with it, but I should not. Futz. What a funny word. Futz with it. Okay, so we need to delete that point. So it's purely a quad-based topology. And then we're just making this front section. So I think right here. So that is 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We'll rip that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rip that. And then select, select, separate. So this will be the first section. Take this point, flatten it. Very important that we do so. And then also bring it down. The hardest part with anime hairstyles is just making sure it all kind of comes together properly. Duplicate this again. We're going to do the base pigtail. So we're going to rotate this on 90 degrees, rotate it back a little ways, and grow it a little bit. Take this point here, delete it. This is the middle, so this section, delete it. And then I'm going to turn on proportional editing mode, 0.6, and rotate it till it's kind of straightened out again. This is a very fascinating setup. I will actually redo this, and we're going to make a plane. Move it over to where the pigtail would be, right about here. Slap on a subdivision surface. Move it back a little. Let's hide all of these. Tab. Back a little further, down a little further. Extrude, scale. Delete that. I'm going to put this right in the middle. Subdivide it one more time. Cut it. Before we cut it, move the pigtail out, delete that. Put it about there. And then Oh, Lord. Okay. So that's something. What an odd little shape. Let's slap a mirror modifier on there as well. No merge. We're going to cut right there. I just want to try to get these points to intersect a little bit so that the curves also intersect. All right. Now, this isn't a very good approximation of a head. It'll do for what we're trying to do, but it's very square in the back. All right. Hmm. There we go. Right about there. Let's mark this sharp. Okay. So I'm still a little odd. Off. Scale these up. I think the hard part about this process is trying to get a good intuition of how your stuff is going to intersect with the other pieces. How each piece is going to intersect with the other. Kind of like that. And then these sections actually should be bigger. And as well, these both come down and kind of Mayo. What? Gotta remember to bevel both sides. Switch this to sharp. Okay. Lastly, we're going to take this section here, duplicate it, separate it, take this little tube, and make it kind of come down, out, Let's just put it out straight first, cut it, then take this, move it down, over. And lastly, one more sphere. Mirror, shrink. This will be our little, whatever that is, that thing. All right. So these are the shapes that hopefully with our curves will yield the look we're going for. There are some smaller little things up here that might require a secondary pass. For now, let's get these first ones in. Before I continue, though, I'm going to make a new collection here. We'll call this Hair Test 4. Take all this and move it into that collection. All right. Now, select this. Hair tool, curves. Oh, mark this one sharp right here. Actually, how many edges were there? 8. So curves, say 8. No random spacing. Turn up that strand width so that the middle sections touch. Something kind of like that. That's pretty close. Let's turn off randomized length for now. All right. All right. And then here, this one, I think we could do a few. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enough where they kind of overlap a little bit. I guess 12 since it's going to be on both sides. And this time we do want some noise amplitude. But it should go out a ways. We want some per strand noise. Make these ones a little bit thinner. It would be nice if they mirrored. I don't see an option for that though. That's okay. Turn up the frequency a little bit. Okay, we're going to redo this because I will actually go ahead and just save this setting as hair test 04 bangs A. Delete it. Take these sections, shrink them, move them, and we want to stick this down into here so that it actually does intersect. Maybe even bevel that a little bit. All right, one more time. Boom. Take that preset we just made. Nice. Let's turn up the randomized length. Randomized spacing? I don't think so. I prefer it to be very ordered at the top. I feel like that's kind of a MA quality we want to hold on to. And yeah, we'll leave it there. Because now we could go here, go to model tips, and shrink them. And voila. Moving pretty quick on this. Next, this one, we'll want to go here, select the middle, mark it sharp, and hit it with the curves. Definitely align. Interesting. Let's go ahead and apply our subdivision and try that again. Seems a little odd. Maybe we just don't have enough. Let's turn up strand width. Turn up the count. Doesn't it they feel like they're doing something really weird here? All right, so maybe it wasn't the subdivision. Maybe they just need to be brought in a little bit more in this spot. Like that. This is already marked sharp. So let's take this one and clear sharp. Actually, should have done that the other way. This sharp spot should be the root. And that's better. Still feel like they're facing the wrong way, but that's okay. Now we can turn up the count. A little bit more. A little bit more width. Randomized spacing. Let's turn that down. Oh. All right, offset, but how do I change that again? Oh, I can scale those up pretty easily. And turn on the points per strand. And I think we're good there. Now we'll just shrink this. Switch it over to smooth, Alt S. Right about there. Switch it back to sharp. Now, I think we could take the tilt now. There we go. Almost perfect. That got really weird in here. We can scale those up and then flip them manually. It almost got all of them. You know what? I'm going to take this side, Control L, delete. And then we're going to go this one, and we're just going to add in here. Because I don't want to be adjusting both sides. Then we'll take this spot, hit O, no connection, smooth, GZ, move that up, move that over, till we get rid of the skin shown through. All right. Then, for these ones, we want to tab, Control L, item, mean tilt, excuse me, plus 180. And so now we just need to do that to a few of them, but not a crazy amount, just a few. Boom, 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 boom. Pretty much all of these. Control L, plus 1. For this one, we'll probably need a custom curve, or we need to increase the size on a few of these spots just to fill in these gaps. But that looks really good. I like that. Nice. And doing that by hand would have taken me, I would have gone a little crazy. I would have gone a little crazy. Crazier. Would have gone crazier. See, the one thing I've never liked about curves in Blender is like moving its position should not change the tilt, or it should do everything in its power to try to retain the tilt direction. But instead, it just kind of like, oh well, you know that thing you worked really hard to position? It's fucked. Anyway, back to hair tool, curves. I will actually use this one because it gave us some randomness for the bottom here. Whoa, that's fine. We'll delete that one, that side over there. let's select the tips. Alt S. Can't seem to adjust the proportional size anymore. There we go. What the fuck? Whatever. I thought I was able to adjust it. Tab, Alt S. That one works fine. Then it wants to do all of them. All right. And then this side, we can delete. Take this one and mirror it. Let's flip the roots. Kind of increase the size there. And then I would like to align them a little bit better. How do I adjust that again? What's the tilt blender curve tilt hotkey? It's Alt T. So Alt T. Oh, Alt T undoes it. So T does nothing. Control T starts changing it. So 180. Control T negative 180. Let's just do Control T. That's cool. Not what I want, but that's cool. I'm gonna redo. I have to redo this one. I don't think there's a way around that. But first, let's turn off the mirror on this. Let's do a curve. We'll set it to this. Make sure align tilt is on. Oh, that's why. Okay, so the reason they look inside out is because the shell is inside out. Which makes sense. I mean, yeah. Oops. Oh, all right. All right. Wow. All right. So then, don't like that because it's still messing with the top of it too much. There we go. Okay. It was this transition thing that's the most important aspect of that. Okay, perfect. Now we can select the tips, Alt S. Point 2, Alt S. Mirror this one. Hide that. And voila! Okay, for 40 minutes worth of work, that's pretty good. And we ain't done yet. Shift. All right. I think the back of the hair is probably a little unrealistic, but oh well. Sphere-chan. Sphere-chan can. Ooh, woo. Actually, I'm going to take this, delete them, put the mirror on again. D, separate, and it's going to move them down. Actually, we'll use the chain to do that. All right, looks a little messy right now. All right, we're trying to move these in. First, so they don't interfere with the ones on top. Also, so it just fills in against the face. Sphere Chan's face. All right, let's see what our vertex count is. We're at 10,000. That's really good, especially considering we have a bunch of guys underneath all this too. And this thing's not even optimized. So just for the hair, that's less than 5K. And I have a feeling we could optimize that even further if we wanted to. Nice. Hello, Easy. Hello, hello. Welcome. Let's see what it looks like in Unity. I'm gonna hit finalize. Will that do all of them? Yeah, it does. Nice. All right, and then file export FBX to hair test 04. Here, chat with mods. Export. Save. Boom. How's your day going, Easy? Oops, that looks like a lot of stuff. Not a little stuff. I want only a little stuff. Oh. It's going all right. Well, that's good to hear. Start of the week. Things are just beginning to happen in the week. Well, all right. Yes. Look at that. I'm feeling pleased. Look at that. There's definitely a lot of intersection here in this spot. And some up here. It's interesting how much easier it is to see that in Unity than it is in Blender sometimes. Be good to have some more. But it isn't day. It's 11 p.m. here. Well, I hope you're having a good evening then. I need to turn on, I do have outline on. Cavity? Cavity. I don't know. Something to make that a little bit easier to see. Dun, dun, dun. Now, can I smooth the normal? So what if I just took it, selected it, smooth vectors, and I just hit it a bunch? Boom, 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 boom. It does blend a bit better, but we still see these things intersecting. So let's delete that. Look at our original one. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do. Oh, let's turn on wireframe. That'll make it easy to see. Okay. Well, I hope your evening is going well, getting ready for Tuesday. Coming up quick, coming at you fast. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. And we'll take this, move it down. Just trying to make them be a little bit crisper. We're trying to avoid these steps where it does this. That we don't want. Tuesday, second last day, I have a chance of getting picked for a verbal exam. Oh, that's not too bad. One more day and then it's over. Then it's over. You're free. Home free. That's not what I want right there. Oh, okay, I see how to maintain the... $19th. Well, hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Nothing like being kept in suspense for a week. It's like a band-aid, right? Rip it off. No more suspense. Just dealing with what's actually happening. Let's try to connect it. Still possible not getting picked for a verbal exam. Interesting. You don't have to do it, or you're not required. Here. It's not bad. Tab, take these, duplicate them, shrink them, shrink a dinky, and then I think we want to separate them so we can simplify. Well, if you don't get picked, then you don't need to do an exam. But if you do, it's obligatory to show up to the exam. That seems like a weird way to do it. Wouldn't you want to know that everyone can pass the exam? Dang, that looks really nice. That looks like some glossy, glossy hair. It'll take a while to get all the little chinks sorted out or little dents here. But it's going to look super nice once we do. Well, exam systems are weird. You're telling me. That sounds odd. It looks so lustrous. I like that. I do not like that some of these are flipped though. But it's very satiny, which I'm pleased by. This pleases me. All right, let's see what we can do about these spots here. So it's pretty much this section. Let's turn off connected. It's going to be a balancing act here, getting it to perfectly match. Oh, let's start at the tips then. Right, this one. Get them as close as possible. Where are you taking your exams? Or what country? I guess I should ask. If I remember correctly, exams count like 20% of your final grade. Norway, interesting. 20% of final grade, which I don't really get because the final grades have already been set. Huh. Yeah, if they already know what you're going to give, how can they take... Counts for 20%, but they already know? Yeah, that sounds a little fishy. I grew up with one of my good friends was or is Norwegian. But he moved to California where we met pretty early on. But he would always tell people that, especially girls, that in order to become a man in Norway, they dropped you into a lake and you had to fight a narwhal to the death. A narwhal. It's like a whale but they have one tusk. They have like a long unicorn tusk almost. But he had quite a few people convinced that he had actually fought a narwhal for real. It looks a little. The only thing you get out of the fight is hypothermia. Yeah, I'm certain that if that was actually to happen, you would die. Most human beings would die. All right, this was really good. I liked this section. The reason this is so funky, though, is just because of my subdivided mesh. If I had taken the time to really sort that out, it would have been easy. Actually, there's no reason not to go back to it. Let's isolate it. That is assuming you're up north where I live. Is there any part of Norway that isn't cold? I just assume that all of Norway is cold. But I know very little about the geography of Norway. South steals all the nice hot weather, lol. Well, if I could give you some of our hot weather from Texas, I would. It's getting a little too warm for my liking. All right, that is nice that it's easy to do. Still looks a little funky though. A little funky dough. Funky dough. Funky dough. That one came out odd. Do not know what snap amount means. The moment I close VR chat, they have an update already. The curse. They were just waiting for you to get off so they could update. Clearly. Like as soon as Easy's off, hit the servers. Bam. Bam. All right, this is easier than I thought it would be. Just find which one is getting looking funky, and you give it a squeeze. You give it a squeeze. Easy squeezy. That one can probably just be deleted. Just slowly shimmy it down. Shimmy it on down. Oh, speaking of VR, the new Assassin's Creed actually got a little trailer for Assassin's Creed VR. Kind of cool. That'd surely be a game to draw on a bunch of non-VR people. I always find it's funny with VR though. It's like there's this thing where it's like you can imagine yourself doing something cool in VR, but to do that thing in VR is you still need the same dexterity that it would take to do it in real life. You know, it's like you want to be some sort of kung fu expert. It's like, okay, well, you still have to move your body and the controllers in a way where that kind of movement you could. So if you can do it there, then you yes, you can do it in VR, but only because you can actually do it already. Anyway, funny stuff. This time we're sending in Sphere Chan as well. What? Then here, finalize, take these, and file, export, FBX, bam. All right, Sphere Chan has got some good looking hair. There's definitely more improvements that can be made. Get rid of this chunkiness here. So jagged. But we're getting there. So if you're up in Norway, do you get to see the auroras regularly? It's like one of the things that I really would love to see in my life. Auroras? The green things in the sky. That one. Aurora Borealis. Borealis. It's only visible in the winters here in Norway, but you still get to see it. That's pretty cool. Love that radiation. Hmm. Best place to view the Aurora Borealis is usually up north when the sky is clear to mostly clear. Yeah, I've heard of people traveling quite a ways to go see it, and then it's just like foggy or something. That'd be a bummer. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix all these little clippages. Not perfectly. So for something like this, it's like, do I even need to do it with curves? If I'm going to do something like this, I don't even think I need the curves. Just make sure to bring a real good winter jacket. That is a good call. Oh, did it actually delete it? Oh, there we go. Delete that. Set this to wire. Let's set it back to wire. Duplicate it. And this one we'll set back to the solid. We're going to mesh it. We're going to select everything. North can get pretty cold, especially if you're inside the polar circle. Is that where Santa is? I'm going to Q mark sharp and then do select, checker deselect, Alt S. Oh, wait, can I not checker deselect this? That's annoying, but fixable. We just go around by one. Oh, I see. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Okay. So then come here. It's close to the same thing. Certainly prevents any weirdness. I think for what I'm trying to do with this kind of shell look, this does make the most sense. And then I could go in and still create like smaller random strands just to make it feel a little bit different. Uh-oh, cat's yelling at me. But I do think this makes the most sense. All right. So then let's take these parts. Finalize this, this, and this. Export again. Bada boom. A little different. And bam. Bam. So it looks like I just need to make the normals or the UV mapping a little bit better. Like that, I guess. And then export again. There we go. And it's actually perfect now. Wow. Nice. I'm very pleased with this. I think this is the best hair I've made in quite some time. Sphere Chan. Sphere Chan. Love me. Love me. I did miss one section. Should have been this, this. Then finalize. Then grab. Bam. Right. All right. It's pretty darn good. I think there's just a decent amount of cleanup to go through, make sure nothing's intersecting, everything bunches up nicely, but it's certainly doable, certainly satisfying, and I have a nice hair material now to really make sure it all comes together properly. All right. One last thing to test. See what happens if we add some solidify to this. Let's go ahead and isolate it too. Ooh, that looks bad. Negative 0.02. Not bad. I don't know if it's necessarily an improvement though. I think it looks thinner this way because it is, but that helps sell the hair. Look. Nice. Yeah, that looks like hair. Awesome. We have accomplished a lot today. And I'm proud of myself. Sphere Chan is very happy. Yeah, I think what all that we're really missing is like a little bit of randomness. 1 to 5 smaller strands that don't quite conform to the look of this. Like we have this one here, just a few on the side. I think that really helps sell it. And then kind of within the bangs too, these little smaller chunks, so some thinner ones that went down and created this nice little breakup here. Do, 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 do. Right. Down, down, down. Down, 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 down. Tubular. Tubular. I think that in the future, what I may also do is for things like this, these like strands that connect, is that I will make sure I know the amount that's there. So I have the same amount of strands, and then actually merge them together at the end after getting the randomness to work as I intend. Definitely have to be a little bit later in the process, but be worth it. It would be worth it. And then like right here, let's duplicate. Actually, select these. That's fine. Tab, 0.6, Shift D. Yeah, just add in like a few strands that just break up the uniformity of the whole thing. I'm really annoyed. There's something about the proportional editing that's just broken on sometimes. I don't want to be moving it. There we go. There we go. think I'm going to head on over to bed and get some sleep. That sounds good, easy. It's just about the end of my stream either way. So thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. Good luck with your potential exam. Get some good rest. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here the whole week, so looking forward to hanging out with you. Good night. Bam. I think that looks really good. I'm so pleased. Okay, so we got all the hair sections selected. We'll once again finalize it. And then select these. And export. All right, we are golden. Feel pretty confident that I could create whatever type of hairstyle I want rapidly with ease, and I may be actually just going ahead and selling some of these combinations because they're cool and they look really good. But it is also time for me to end my stream. It's about 5 p.m. I know it was mostly just testing today, but tomorrow we will be getting into avatar work, and it's going to be a blast. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday evening, and I will be streaming throughout the rest of the week. So if you couldn't make the full stream today, certainly come by tomorrow. If anyone is new here, hit that follow button, and we'll be back tomorrow again working on more avatar shenanigans. So look forward to it. Anyway, I'll see you all then. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.